Hello folks, I'm back out in the Central West. That makes me a happy man. And it's November, first week of November. And I've only got a day, really. And fortunately enough, it's been just baking hot until today. A cool change, and that's nice. There's a fair bit of feed on the ground. And to be honest, I was a bit surprised by that, but I haven't been living out here. There's sometimes you get a little bit narrow focus on your own context, and there'd been no rain for a month and a half where I live, down closer to the coast. So it's nice to come out here and see some feed. I think I was going to come out here and think that similar weather patterns were around, and that was going to really narrow down my focus of where the game might be. And now I'm not feeling that so much, and that's fine. There's a gully just over there, and every time I've hunted this area, which is not enough to be honest, but I've bypassed it, often unintentionally, sometimes intentionally, because there might be a spur that just takes you into a whole new system where it offers you a really big broad loop of a whole bunch of potential feed areas, interesting gullies and all of that, and going into this gully doesn't offer that easy pathway. So I think this morning I'm going to poke down there and have a look, and then I'll back out of it if I haven't shot anything, or whatever happens happens. And then I'll have a little walk down a creek line where I've shot pigs before, and if there's pigs around, I will shoot pigs. Oh, I do like the look of it. Contains a lot of moisture, good amount of feed on the ground, shit ton of blackberry. And when that's in fruit, I dare say, because like I'm not seeing blackberry everywhere. It's just found its way into this gully. Like none up on the tracks at the top, really. Like the area is mostly free of blackberry. Then you find an island of it here, that'll become a magnet. Pig digging by the looks. Fuck, as soon as I had the gun up, they're just shifting off. They haven't smelt me though, They haven't smelt me though, there's a really easy updraft here. Yeah, I'll just keep working that same side and glassing across. I'm sure I'll find them eventually. Warming up. I was just on the lip, and you could obviously just see my hat because it hadn't noticed anything when I just popped over. Clearly hadn't smelt me either. And then I try to get behind these trees here, and as I line up, I was beneath the lip, tried to get around to the other side, and all I just see is his head, because it's obviously I've moved sideways a few times. And there's a fox on the ground, and that's a good thing, folks. That's a good thing. Yeah. Something I've needed to do a lot more of. Don't need that on YouTube. Obviously a deer caliber makes short work. If you're going to be into fox hunting, you're probably not going to use something like 7mm08 or 308. But if that's what you have, see if it works. Anyway, gone hunting, shooting foxes. Good. Well, it wouldn't make much sense for me to keep hunting that way. I was kind of up on that hill is where those two pigs sidled. But putting gunshots in the air, they'd be out of here. So I'll go the other way. I'm still a bit annoyed about those pigs this morning because it comes down to the camera. You try to set up the camera, they move on, you miss your shot. But if I'd shot them, then maybe it wouldn't have got this fox. And that fox needed to go. That's right, I might find more pigs that way. So I was just looking up on that hillside just there to see whether they'd moved, and I just hear grunt, 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 grunt behind me. Knock this one over. But there's two of them. There were two of them. I just heard grunt, 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 grunt. This one, bang. Well, little bore for the efforts. Oh. That was all a bit of a funny one just then, because I was just coming around the corner on one of these little creek bends. I was in the creek itself. Just look over, and then there's just a bit of black bristle. Just moved straight between some blackberry bushes. I'm like, oh, they're there. But they would just move. They were just walking, and dived to have a crack, but I'm not punching through brush or anything like that. I wanted a clear shot, and I could hear there was more than a couple of them. So I've moved back, further back up the hill. As I've done that, I put up a few kangaroos, bunch of wind swirling around. But you know, I got the bipod out because there's a bit of an open clearing. I thought, oh, why don't I just try and whack them this way? Because I don't normally do that unless it's like open pasture country. You know, could make for a steady shot. It'd be good. And nothing was happening. 5 minutes, and I look over further up, and there's two cruising right up the hill at speed. And I'm like, oh, I'll try and rearrange, try and get myself on them. But you know, with all that swirling wind, it has to be that. It has to be that. They must have winded me. And because they just kept moving fast. And I was like, all right, is what that is. Anyway, I've moved up to just see if I could come to this next gully and see what's going on. And I've just got the camera pointing up the hill there. And then I just hear grunting around. And I could just see the top of his ears coming around. So I've whacked the camera around, but I haven't pressed the record button properly. Anyway, it must have been 8 meters away. I've just gone, poof. Exit wound's just there. Shot him in the front shoulder, so poof, little bore. And hot day. It's at 4 o'clock and it's still just as warm. That's fine. I've seen goats here before. Come down to another system. And gonna glass. It's just plant my ass down, see if I can look between the trees to the other side and listen more than anything. Because more often than not, that's how they give themselves away. They'll let out a little meh. You know where they're at. Any sign, but I thought rather than punching it through, I'm actually gonna hike back to the car, get more water, because that's intelligent. Now I can hear some commotion from down that way. Could just be a few roos, but still. It's up there. How? No, hang on, how? Oh, it's gone now. Just looking for another. Well, it wasn't a goat. And a goat would have been good. I'm hungry for goat. Oh, not so small actually, this one. Real stank to it. Well folks, that's a pregnant sow out of the mix. That's definitely full tummy of babies. Real thin about the neck. I think a lot of these animals are really struggling to get by in this bush at the moment. you can see greenery right now. You kick past the green and it's just dusty dirt. So I think we're at the very end of this little green patch, unless of course we get a big rain event. But I'm happy with the shot though. Boom, just high on the shoulder, and it's come just out behind the other shoulder lower down, and I'd compensated for that shot. I aimed, God, a good 10 centimeters lower, and then hit up there because it was a downhill shot. I'm kind of happy to get a bit of a culling chore out of the way now, because I know when I'm deer focused, I do let these things pass, and I feel bad about it. So the answer, of course, is just to, like, well, in that off time, just hammer them hard. I've got about 250 meters elevation, over a kilometer to do, and then I'm back at that car. Gonna see Triz, hang out, talk to the man. Good times.
Wow, look at that root system. That's sick. Not a monster, but a solid one. Oh, I just love it.
People, I just want to put together a little recipe now, which I highly recommend for anyone doing game satay skewers. And I recommend it for a few reasons, but one, it's a real crowd pleaser. I've never ever served it up to folks and they didn't love it. I think it complements venison in particular really well. I actually wanted to do this today with goat, but a couple of days in the hills only produced foxes and pigs and no goat. It's also one of these things that's pretty easy to put together, and it also can be used with really any different cut of meat, and using things like velveting and stuff like that, you're never going to have a problem with what you would put on the end of the skewer if you treat it right. So I'll show you how I whack it together now, see what you reckon. So first things first, I've got some skewers here soaking away, and that's because we need to do that so they don't burn on the barbecue. I've got cubed up venison here, and having thinner cubes, sometimes more like just rectangles and discs like that, that can be good sometimes when you thread it on, because all that marinade is going to find its way through more surface area, and that's far more delicious. We're going to marinate this first up. I'm going to leave it to sit in the fridge for a little bit before we put the skewers on. When you do the actual peanut sauce itself, that's something that you can do just before you put things on the barbecue or at the same time. So doing this marinating step first, this can even be done days beforehand if you need to. Coconut milk, any kind of red curry paste. I would much prefer to have limes today. Lime is good, but I've got lemons. Couldn't have a lime, so whatever. Lemons are nice, a bit of zest, and a little bit of sweetness to go with it. I almost forgot to add, very important, turmeric. All curry powder, but I'm going to put turmeric in today. Got a beautiful colour to it as well as the subtle flavour. Pinch of salt too, obviously to personal taste. You can always add more later. Ready to load them up. It's had, about 4 hours of marinating, and the longer the better. So it's probably a bit shorter than I'd like to, but I also want to make this video for you guys, so that's why I've done it that way. Now, trying not to load the skewers up more than past halfway, because you've got to have something to hold on to. And you also want to have most of the stick kind of away from your flame when you're burning. I mean, that's why I've soaked them, to help prevent that. But look, I mean, even that's just very easy for people to hold on to. It can be nice as a bit of like a hors d'oeuvre, entree kind of deal, a bit of a pass around before the main course, that kind of thing. So they don't have to be completely loaded up to the hilt. You can get a lot more out of them for a lot more people by doing it this way. I've done this once before, keep doing it again. This is a really good way, I find, of just keeping these stored for later. There's no problem freezing them whatsoever. I mean, what you could do differently is you could just have the marinade on the cubes and then vacuum seal it. I kind of just like to have it all sticks in ready to go, because you just turn up at someone's place, rip it open, they're straight on the barbecue, you make up a little sauce, a bit of salad and some rice with it if you want to, depends what you're up to, and it's just real easy, just straight into it. For some of you might be like, well, look, these vac seal packages are a little bit expensive to waste on a heap of stick, but that's just what I'm choosing to do. You do you. I've always just been a real fan of the whole vac sealing thing. It just makes things real presentable. It's extremely good for just general food safety and hygiene, all that kind of stuff. It just makes life real easy. let's whack up the peanut sauce quickly, and it's not complicated, and there's a million variations to it. But you don't want to go without that. It's not really peanut sauce without that, and so I'm using peanut butter that's crunchy, because it's got lovely texture in it. Again, we kind of only want it on a simmering heat, so, well, without further ado, I'm going to get a heap of that in there. Oh, I am just one bloke, so I'll hold off. Got toast I need for the morning. More coconut milk. Red curry paste. Now, I'm not going to add sugar to this one because I'm going to just try some ketchup mayonnaise, because it's got plenty of sweetness in it. As it is, I'm being generous. I don't care. A little bit of salt. But, oh well, I like coconut milk. Nice consistency there. That's beaut. Now that's good. Oh, mama. Very good. A garnish on the plate with some coriander, if that's what you're into. That's what I'm into. Spring onions. That's nice. Lime would be preferable, but a little bit of lemon on the skewers. And of course, a generous bowl of peanut sauce. Oh, and some fried onion all over. Yes. Oh, a small feast, folks, with delicious peanutty goodness. Man, who would go to a restaurant? Well, I would actually, to be honest. Folks, you know I'm not a chef, but I just want to present ways where we can get maximum value out of the beautiful wild resources that we enjoy and get the best out of. Well, I'm going to enjoy this. But as always, folks, any variations on this dish that you can suggest as a comment section below, any other good ideas for excellent recipes or similar cuisine, I'd love to hear about it. I'm sure a lot of other people would be keen too. Anyway, happy days. So folks, just to finish off, I've been exploring a fair bit of the local bushland and wilderness not too far from home, and it's turning up all kinds of natural gems. I've been really trying to suss out some of the local fishing opportunities. There might be a bit of that in coming videos. See what you reckon with this one. Well, out here late morning. Never been here before. You know, planned off Google Maps and all of that kind of thing. Doesn't exactly tell you how you get down off the cliff. I'm not going any closer. Freaks me the hell out. But that is cool. Monstrous gorge. Like you can see just good sweet water down the bottom. Nice little sheltered rainforested patches. I'm mad keen to get in. See, one of these classic situations though, like whatever time it takes me to get down, might take double to get back out again. So I'll work out my timings carefully. I've got hopes for bass. No certainty on it, but I've got hopes for bass. If there's carp and stuff down there, well, they're enjoying some nice clear puddles. There'll be some lucky happy carp, that's for sure. Oh, I found a little gap. Slow going down, but that's alright. Big cave up there. Seriously cool. Well, the creek's just there, that's good. So I reckon if I can cover 500 to a kilometre of stream, that'd just be mad. And if there's no fish to be caught there, I'll never come here again. Beautiful spot. There's fish, the carp. If that's a trout, I'm going to lose my shit. That fork tail, you see? Fork tail. Didn't bring any bait down, so I think maybe soft plastics will be the go. Oh, there's two of them. Yeah, there's a fair few in there. He's looking. He's looking. Come on. Funky looking carp. Got a whomper just there. Oh, bullshit. Whoa. Shit, yes. Oi. Far out, that was quick. Oi, shit. Really want to see if I can beach him right in here. That's good, that works. No. Oh, no. Whoa, he's not keen. He's got heaps of strength still. Crazy big carp. Oh, that's ridiculous. Oh, that's just ridiculous. That's crazy. Oh. Mud marlin. That's massive. Very close, 20 pound or something like that. Huge. Don't mind getting them out of the waterway at all. It's a good thing. Real pretty natural space. Get a few carp out of the water. But then there might be a few bass around. That's where I wanted to come down here for. But hey, it's cool to be catching fish all the same. Cool to get a few of these out of the water, but far out, look at him. Absolute tank. My arms are still holding him. Far out. There's another. That was a solid fight. That was great sight fishing. I really enjoy the Clearwater experience, and they pull really hard. So yeah, folks, I've been trying to get the very best harvest-wise out of the Sydney Basin of late, and it's turning up some gold, folks. I'm just really enjoying getting back into saltwater fishing, but have been persisting with the hunting, particularly on the bow, the old struggle stick. But you know what? When it comes together, it's absolutely worth it. Oh, for fuck's sake, fuck. And as usual, thank you for watching, guys. Thanks to so many of you who've stuck with the channel for so long. I really appreciate it. And to anyone who's new to watching, please consider liking and subscribing if you've enjoyed what you've seen. There's plenty more to come. Wishing everyone tight lines, warm barrels, and very full freezers. The good times are natural. I'll see you next time. Big cheers, folks.